Hello YouTube and vinyl community, I'm Jeff Paris and welcome to the Vinyl Record Info channel. So today we're going to talk about foreign presses. I collect presses other than US. I like them. Especially with some records, foreign presses like Japanese presses, UK presses, pressings, they a lot of times will come with different like inner sleeves or booklets, or there's like different promotional material that comes with them that you don't get with US presses. And then there's some foreign presses that you can only get from that country. I'll show you a couple examples of that too. But we'll start with Japanese presses because that tends to be, between that and UK, probably are kind of people's favorites. Here's an example of Aerosmith Toys in the Attic. This is the first Japanese press with that obi. So an obi, some people call it OBI, but I think you just say obi, is this strip right here. So basically it comes on most Japanese presses, but it's just a promotional strip. Usually has something in Japanese here, kind of promoting the band, promoting the record. And it's just something cool to look at, really. It's just something extra. Typically it's just like taped or like glued onto the cover. And when you get a Japanese press, you hope to have that obi on there because one, it increases the value, and two, like I said, it's just cool. It's just something to look at that it is something different than what you normally get. But this is a great record, Toys in the Attic. A lot of times Japanese presses too, like people say that they sound better, and depending on what record you get, maybe that's true. In my opinion, they're just like built better. Like the record will last longer because they typically the cardboard sleeves are very sturdy. Kind of thicker typically, especially like compared to UK presses, where UK presses are typically very flimsy covers, and the vinyl is sometimes heavier or higher quality vinyl. So does all that make it sound better? Probably not. But I do think that it makes your records last longer because they're built with a lot of quality. Okay, so here is the Beatles Revolver. So this kind of obi is pretty cool because so you'll see this a lot with the Beatles presses, but they have this flag back here. So, and this flag will typically denotes where Japan was going to send this out to. So sometimes you'll have a Japanese flag on here, sometimes you'll have an American flag on here. It's just wherever they intended to ship this record to, they would put the flag of the country. So, I mean, this particular copy is kind of ironic because the Beatles are from the UK, but they were shipping this one to the UK, and this is going to be sold in the UK. So it's just kind of cool. I like that obi. It lets you know where it was intended to go or where the label intended to ship it. But yeah, it's kind of cool on the Apple label there. Great record. It's classic Boston. I really like this obi. It's got like the band members up there, and I like the red, white, and blue. But awesome record. I've talked about this record a bunch just because when they got hosed for not winning debut album. But yeah, I mean, every song on here is awesome. You forget how good Boston was. This is the little Elton John, Madman Across the Water. So, really cool obi on this one too, the all silver one. But this is also what I was kind of talking about too, like look how thick that is. That's a thick sleeve. Like it's very structurally sound cover. But and I also have Japanese presses that don't have the obi. So here's a good example of one. This is Head Over Heels. So this is incredible hard rock, like early 70s hard rock. If you haven't heard of these guys, I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this on YouTube, but this record, but it's absolutely fantastic. If you like that early '70s hard rock sound, you're like head over heels. These are, I'm not sure how much they're going for nowadays. I got this some time back. They're not super easy to come by, but I don't think they're like astronomically priced yet because this is a really good record. But it's cool because this is a Japanese white label promo. And even though it doesn't have the obi, I thought it was really cool because it's a white label promo. And, they have like up here little Japanese symbols is basically denoting that it's a promo copy. So I thought that was pretty cool, and it's in incredible shape. So, yeah, I really like that one. And then we got Mountain Climbing. Really, really cool OB2. That cover is awesome. All the Mountains covers are pretty cool, but, cool OB. And, again, I was talking about like Japanese presses kind of just being, built with a little more quality. A lot of U.S. presses or, a lot of other countries really, they'll use the cheapest inner that they can produce, right? So it's typically paper sleeves, and that's where you get a lot of paper scuffs and things like that. But on Japanese presses, it typically comes with this sleeve, a little rounded at the bottom. Most Japanese presses come with an inner like this. So. All right, this one is another cool. I just really like this obi, basically, but this is Pink Floyd, Adam Hartmother. It's just that cool black and orange, kind of like a burnt orange obi on there. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, also awesome record. Check that one out. All right, so I think I've shown this one before, but this is a Taiwan press. Basically, you can probably consider this like a bootleg, but Taiwan would basically a lot of the times they would get like just like a regular copy of this, and then they would like photocopy it, and then put their markings. A lot of Taiwan presses have that little mark on there too, but these are like crazy flimsy. They typically don't sound very good, but it's just kind of cool and interesting. So also Frigid Pink is fantastic. Definitely showed this record before, but Toad, just one of the best records I have in my collection. Just incredible early '70s hard rock, a little tinge of psych, but not too much. But yeah, and this is an original Swiss press of this on that Hallelujah label. But this is a Swiss band, so it's just really cool record. Now this wouldn't be a video without showing a Rush record, so this is Rush, A Farewell to Kings, but what's cool about this is it's an original Canadian press on that Anthem label. All the Rush records that came out of Canada were on the Anthem label, but I think it's cool because Rush is from Canada, so they're a Canadian band. So I wanted at least one copy of a first press on that Canadian Anthem label. Just think it's cool. So now there's also a couple of records that you can only get the foreign press of it. Like some things only came out in Japan, only came out in UK. So to get it, you gotta snag that record from Japan or from the UK or whatever. But so for example, this is the Rolling Stones. Give Me Shelter. It's a live album, but and then they got a really big obi, which is pretty cool. It's like thicker than most of them, but this only came out in Japan, so I think that's pretty cool. Plus, I'm a huge Rolling Stones fan. This was a great live album. I cannot remember for the life of me. I don't think it was Royal Albert Hall, but yeah, and I can't find it either. But yeah, I mean, just really, really incredible. Here's another example. This is called Dirty Tricks, self-titled. So this is an original UK press on that Polydor label, but these only came out in the UK. So to get an original press of this, you had to get you have to get a UK press of it because they didn't come out with one in America or any other country for that matter. But this one is like really cool. Again, like early 70s sound, hard rock. This may be from a little later, like 75 or something like that, but it's still that early 70s sound. Really, really good hard rock. If you haven't heard of this band, they're everywhere. You can stream them, Spotify, YouTube, or whatnot. But it's really incredible. And this one is, I was really, pumped to get this copy because, again, with the white covers, they usually get crushed with ring wear, and I'm, it's going right here, but overall, it's still pretty white. Looks pretty good still, so I was pretty pumped to get one in that condition. The vinyl is fantastic on this one, so yeah, really good hard rock. Check that one out. Yeah, so this is, everybody knows this one, hopefully, Beatles Abbey Road, but this is an original UK press on that Apple label. I think it's just cool to have at least one Beatles album that's a UK press, just because their significance over there. They're huge, obviously, in America, but they came from the UK, so I think it's cool to just have at least one. I got this from a record store in San Diego. It was up on the wall, and it was like $20. Original UK. I was like, what? All right, so snagged that thing, and yeah, so great record. This is Elton John, Honky Chateau. Awesome record. It's got this one with Rocket Man on it. But there's an original UK press on that DJM label right there. And again, I think it's just cool to have at least one Elton John record from the UK because he's from the UK. And I love this record. It's so good. And I found this at a yard sale for a couple bucks. I had a US copy of this that was in pretty good shape. This is not a rare record. You can find them everywhere, but I thought it was interesting that I found it at a garage sale. It's the UK copy. You typically just don't see foreign presses at garage sales, but it was kind of cool to find that. Okay, so the two kind of main UK labels that are very collectible, people really like, is Decca and Vertigo. So this is obviously Rolling Stones Aftermath, and it's on that Decca label here. You can see that. So when you see Decca, it's typically going to be a UK press. London did their American presses for Rolling Stone. So it's actually kind of a similar label, but it says London here, which is confusing because it's an American press, but it says London. But yeah, so Decca, really, really, historic kind of label. Pretty cool. And then you have Vertigo. Now, this is clearly Black Sabbath, Paranoid, but what's cool is this is a UK Vertigo. So you got that Vertigo swirl rather going on here. It's kind of a trippy label. But these are probably the most sought after, most collectible UK presses is the Vertigo. Almost everything on the Vertigo label, is going to be pretty good. There's a couple there. All right, that's kind of weird, but for the most case, everything on the Vertigo label is awesome. The only problem is they're very hard to find because they're just rare, and especially on the Vertigo swirl because later on, I think in the late 70s, they switched to a spaceship. So you can kind of tell right off the rip if you have a record from the early 70s or something, if it's a first press or not, because if it's on the spaceship, it's going to be a later pressing because they didn't switch that label over until later. And I don't know why they did that. This is just so iconic and awesome. I don't know why they switched to the spaceship, but yeah. And then typically you can see that up in the corner, they'll almost always have this Vertigo label up there as well. So just something to look out for if you're ever out and about. And here's another one. This is called Warhorse Red Sea on that Vertigo label. This is an original UK press of this in incredible condition. This thing is near mint all the way around. Really, really great. But So there's kind of two main records from these guys. Uh, you have Warhorse Red Sea and then Warhorse self-titled, with like a World War One soldier sitting there. It's really cool cover, but and I don't have that unfortunately. But I kind of like this one a little better. I think I like Red Sea a little bit more than their self-titled. But this is incredible, incredible hard rock, early '70s hard rock. You're seeing a theme here, but yeah. So if you like the early '70s sound, yeah, check this out. These obviously are pretty rare and kind of hard to come by, but the Warhorse is popular enough to where you can stream it everywhere. It's on Spotify, things like that. But you know, finding one of these, I don't know what they're running for now. Probably, I don't know, $200-300 maybe. And then the self-titled is probably going for a little bit more at this point. But yeah, I mean, incredible hard rock. Check that out. So let's go do it. Thanks a ton, guys. I really appreciate all the comments, all the thumbs up and everything. Please tell your friends about the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.